In the universe of Swallowed Star, every opportunity is tied to destiny. Every treasure carries the weight of countless civilizations, and every chance encounter can change the fate of a cultivator forever. Among the many turning points in Luo Feng's journey, the Sacrificial Tower is one of the most crucial. It is not only a test left behind by an ancient civilization, but also a treasury filled with resources, secret inheritances, and weapons powerful enough to shake the universe. Today, let us dive deep into the question, what kind of treasures did Luo Feng actually obtain from the Sacrificial Tower, and how much did they help him improve his strength? The illusory beginning, the 3 G-grade metal chests. When Luo Feng first entered the treasure chamber, he discovered 3 magnificent G-grade metal chests. At first glance, they seemed like peerless treasures. After all, G-grade metal itself is one of the finest materials known to the universe. It can be used to forge top-tier weapons, manufacture super spacecraft, or even serve as rare resources in cultivation. But Luo Feng quickly realized the truth. The so-called treasures within the chests were nothing but a hoax left behind by the indigenous people of Yanji continent. The chests contained nothing of real value inside. However, this did not mean Luo Feng had walked away empty-handed. On the contrary, the G-grade metal of the chests themselves was of immense worth. By selling the 3 G-grade chests, Luo Feng gained a staggering fortune in Hunyuan units. This wealth was not just about numbers, it represented cultivation potential. With this massive sum, Luo Feng could purchase rare resources, top-tier cultivation manuals, and even equipment otherwise far beyond his reach. The 3 G-grade chests became the financial backbone of his next stage of growth, ensuring he would never again have to worry about basic cultivation needs or the funding of his subordinates and forces. In a universe where resources often decide life and death, this was no small gain. The Chained Treasure Chest, 3 World Rings of Fortune. The true heart of the Sacrificial Tower lay in a chained chest, and within it were 3 world rings, each brimming with unimaginable treasures. The first ring, the collective wealth of clansmen. Inside the first world ring were the accumulated belongings of countless Yanji clansmen at the realm, domain, and cosmic levels. Individually, each treasure was not particularly earth-shattering, but the sheer quantity was overwhelming. There were entire lakes formed of rare energy-rich liquids and vast fleets of E-class spaceships, each valued at 221 billion Hunyuan units. The sheer magnitude of this collection made it a mountain of wealth, capable of elevating Luo Feng's personal power and strengthening his growing influence. These resources provided him with strategic leverage. Luo Feng could upgrade his personal gear, equip his allies, and even expand his control by using these ships and treasures to form a military backbone. In a universe where influence often translates into survival, this treasure alone would have been enough to propel him several steps forward on the path of cultivation. The second ring, reserved for the immortal level. The second ring was more refined, containing treasures specifically suited for immortal spirits. Though Luo Feng was not yet at that stage, he understood the value of these treasures. Estimated at a jaw-dropping 285 billion Hunyuan units, the collection inside would one day become his stepping stones to further greatness. Weapons, armors, and cultivation resources tailored to immortals ensured that Luo Feng would not face a scarcity of tools once he broke through to that realm. In essence, this world ring was a time capsule of power, locked until the day Luo Feng's strength was sufficient to wield it. The third ring, the Void Locking Arm. The third world ring contained what could only be described as a true clan treasure, the Void Locking Arm. Forged by the highest technological achievements of Yanji continental civilization, this mystical weapon had the ability to seal off space itself. With a radius of effect reaching 1 million kilometers, it could prevent enemies from teleporting or escaping, a nightmare for any opponent skilled in spatial laws. Luo Feng's future battles proved just how priceless this treasure was. When facing the terrifying Kangjin King, who had ignited his immortal body in a last desperate act of destruction, Luo Feng used the Void Locking Arm to trap him. That crucial moment of control bought Luo Feng the time he needed to survive and retreat. This weapon gave him the ability to dictate the flow of battle against powerful foes, granting him control where otherwise he would have been helpless. For a cultivator climbing the ladder of power, such an ability was beyond measure. The inherited secrets, wisdom of a civilization. The physical treasures were impressive, but the most priceless gains were the intangible ones, the inherited secrets of the Yanji clan. These records represented the crystallized wisdom of countless generations over thousands of years. They contained unique cultivation methods, profound insights into the laws, and refined strategies that had once allowed the Yanji to flourish as a great civilization. For Luo Feng, these secrets were more than shortcuts. They were roadmaps. They allowed him to avoid detours on his cultivation path, providing clarity on insights that would have taken him centuries to stumble upon on his own. With such guidance, Luo Feng's growth would accelerate exponentially, putting him ahead of countless other geniuses scattered across the universe. Along with this knowledge came another boon: 1% of the Yanji clan's total resources. Though it sounded like a small fraction, in truth, it was an astronomical amount. These resources were carefully chosen to provide support from the Realm Master level upward, designed to help cultivators overcome bottlenecks and ascend higher. For Luo Feng, it meant having the material foundation to step from Realm Master toward the lofty heights of the Universe Venerable realm. The explosive battle and hidden gains. However, treasures never come without trials. The Sacrificial Tower soon became a battlefield. King Zizong detonated the terrifying fire source crystal, reducing the treasure chamber to ruins in a fiery explosion. Luo Feng survived only through the combined protection of Shiwu Yuyi and Mo Yun's battlesuit, as well as the desperate adaptability of his demon-killing clan clone, which fragmented into metal shards to evade the blast. Where others perished, Luo Feng endured, and endurance brought him even more gains. In the aftermath, Luo Feng secretly collected treasures left behind by the 4 kings who had perished. Among these spoils were the lightning spear of the formidable Kang Jin king and the shattered space and world ring he carried. Each of these items, though remnants, carried immense value and added to Luo Feng's growing arsenal. These opportunistic gains made the Sacrificial Tower not just a trial of survival, but also a crucible of fortune. The overall impact, a new foundation for greatness. When viewed as a whole, the treasures of the Sacrificial Tower reshaped Luo Feng's path forward in several ways. Financial foundation. The fortune from the G-grade chests and the countless treasures in the world rings gave Luo Feng enough Hunyuan units to fuel his cultivation for years. Strategic arsenal. The fleets, weapons, and void-locking arm provided both personal and military strength, elevating Luo Feng's ability to survive and dominate in conflicts. Cultivation acceleration. The Yanji inheritance and resources became his guiding light, helping him avoid detours and laying the groundwork for breakthroughs that would one day lead him to the realm of the Universe Venerable. Unexpected spoils. By surviving the destruction of the treasure room, Luo Feng not only kept his gains, but also claimed the legacies of fallen kings, proving that danger often hides even greater rewards. In the end, the Sacrificial Tower was not just a treasury, it was a turning point. It gave Luo Feng wealth, wisdom, weapons, and the confidence to stride further down the path of cultivation. With these gains, he would rise step by step from Realm Master to Sword River King, and ultimately toward becoming a force recognized even among the Universe Venerables. The treasures of the Sacrificial Tower tell us one truth. In Swallowed Star, power is not only about innate talent or hard work, it is also about seizing opportunities, risking everything in the face of death, and daring to claim what others cannot. Luo Feng, through courage, persistence, and a bit of luck, turned the Sacrificial Tower into the cornerstone of his growth. And with that, the universe had to acknowledge, Luo Feng was no longer just a genius of Earth. He was a rising star with a destiny that reached far beyond the stars themselves. And that wraps up today's deep dive into the Sacrificial Tower and the priceless treasures Luo Feng gained inside. From fortune-changing resources to civilization-level inheritances, every step of this journey not only shaped his cultivation path, but also solidified his place among the rising powers of the universe. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more hidden details from Swallowed Star, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next episode. What do you think was Luo Feng's greatest gain from the Sacrificial Tower? Was it the void-locking arm, the Yanji inheritance, or the unimaginable wealth hidden within the world rings? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Until next time, and I'll see you in the next video.